Elon Musk, SpaceX, Starlink, the FAA. It sounds like the setup for a joke, right? Like, what do you get when you cross a billionaire entrepreneur with a government agency? But folks, this ain't no laughing matter. This is about as serious as a Dogecoin in a spacesuit. Musk, the man who dreams of colonizing Mars, is now in charge of Doge, the agency tasked with making the US government more efficient. That's right, the same guy who launches rockets is now calling the shots on government spending. Now you might be thinking, hey, maybe he's good at both. And you know what? Maybe he is. But here's the thing, his companies, SpaceX and Starlink, are getting cozy with the FAA, the very agency that's supposed to be regulating them. See, the FAA is responsible for making sure our skies are safe, whether it's planes, helicopters, or, you guessed it, rockets. But when the head honcho of Doge is also the CEO of the companies launching those rockets and building a satellite internet network, well, it's enough to make you spit out your coffee. Is this a conflict of interest? I'll let you be the judge. Let's talk Turkey, or should I say, taxpayer dollars. SpaceX already has a sweet $4 billion deal with NASA. And now the FAA is handing out contracts to Starlink like candy on Halloween. How much are these contracts worth? Good question. No one seems to know, or at least they ain't saying. Meanwhile, back in 2024, the FAA slapped SpaceX with a $633,000 fine for safety violations. Now, I'm no financial whiz, but something tells me a few $100,000 is chump change to a guy like Musk. It's like finding a kid a nickel for drawing on the walls with a crayon. So we've got big money contracts going to Musk's companies, a slap on the wrist fine, and a whole lot of secrecy. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, or at least a very awkward Thanksgiving dinner. Now, it's not just me with my spidey senses tingling. Senator Maria Cantwell, and she's one sharp cookie, has raised concerns about this whole cozy relationship. And she's not alone. Folks are starting to wonder, is the FAA really able to keep a watchful eye on SpaceX when their boss is basically Musk's new best friend? Remember those staff cuts at the FAA? Yeah, about that. Some folks are saying that Musk's influence is weakening the agency from the inside out. And to make matters worse, SpaceX engineers are now advising the FAA. Let me get this straight. The people who build the rockets are now helping write the rules for launching them? That's like letting the fox guard the henhouse. Except the fox is wearing a spacesuit and the henhouse is our entire planet. Transparency? What's that? We're talking about secret deals, whispers of influence, and a whole lot of trust me from the powers that be. And frankly, after that whole funding secured tweet debacle, I'm not sure trust me is in Musk's vocabulary. So what does this all mean for the future of space exploration? Well, some folks are worried that we're headed for a Musk monopoly. Imagine a future where the only way to get to space is on a SpaceX rocket, using Starlink for communication, and following rules written by, you guessed it, SpaceX. Now, I'm all for innovation and reaching for the stars, but not if it means putting all our eggs in one basket, especially when that basket is shaped like a rocket and controlled by a guy who once tweeted that he was going to buy Coca-Cola and put cocaine back in it. Look, I'm not saying Elon Musk is a villain in this story. He's a brilliant entrepreneur who's achieved incredible things. But when it comes to the FAA and the safety of our skies, we need clear lines, strict oversight, and a whole lot more transparency. Because the last thing we need is a conflict of interest sending our space program and maybe even our planet spiraling out of control.